The Mobile County Public Schools presents Homeroom.
Hi, and welcome to Homeroom, where we introduce you to the students and the educators who make Mobile County Public Schools the best schools in the state of Alabama. I'm your host, Renee Phillips, and today we're going to be talking to some of our fabulous science teachers. These are teachers who've won awards, made discoveries, and are making science very interesting for our students. So joining us first, I have Beth Fields from Meadow Lake Elementary School and Megan McCall from Barton Academy for Advanced World Studies. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. And y'all just had a pretty exciting day recently where you both got a grant from Ingalls. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I got a grant for $5,000 for Air, Land, and Sea was the title of the grant to increase our increase our underwater robots that we have and include drones to our STEM program that we've got for science.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
And Beth, you got robots as well, right?
Yes, we got $4,500 to get 2 sets of Dash robots to build our STEM collection with students.
So what is a Dash robot?
It is a robot that there's so many different lessons and activities that you can use all the way from kindergarten on up. In kindergarten, they can program it to change colors and make sounds, and then as they advance in their coding lessons, they can create their own obstacle courses and program and use the actual Blockly coding system to program the Dash robot to go through their course. And they've had a lot of fun, and it's a great hands-on learning activity for them.
Ingalls Shipbuilding really set us up so well. It was so nice. They had a big breakfast for us, and then our principals were able to come, and then so there were all teachers from all over pretty much the Gulf Coast, Baldwin County, Mobile County, and then so they had a ceremony for us and presented us the big checks. So we got our pictures taken with that, and then it was also made known to us that the people that selected the grants out of the applications, and I think they had something like 76 applications, and so they had the people that work on the line in the shipbuilding choose which grants they wanted that were applicable to their shipbuilding industry, which I thought was amazing and really a neat, concept. So I hope to get my students back over there to check it out sometime.
Yeah, they're great partners. I know that they have helped us with a welding lab down in Biobattery at Alma Bryant High School. So isn't it neat, Beth, when you see another company taking interest in your job and helping you out, even with cash or just support?
Yes, I just thought it was incredible that they would reach out to many communities around them, and they just made it really special. And after it, they even have been emailing and reaching out, saying if there's any way they can be involved and continue with us. So I'm really honored to be a part of that.
Now, you were telling me you have an interesting story because you were in an accident and you make that part of your lessons with your students. Can you tell us about that? Yes,
I've always been interested in robotics and STEM, but so I kind of have a new motivation and fascination with STEM because over the summer after the accident, I had one of my surgeries was a robotic arm was helped for one of the nerve repair surgeries, and then just so many different procedures and braces and things, and they all just kind of look like a STEM project to me. Mm-hmm. So I can use that in some way for good to help motivate the students to, right now there's so many things out there to help people in their healing, and I just think our students now, in 20 years from now, when they're in the medical field, possibly what they might come up with. And so I think us as educators, that's all we really want, is to spark that interest for them to be innovators and improve our world.
And making that science real.
Yes.
I bet they thought it was really cool that robots help to make you better.
Yes.
Is your arm, right?
Yes, and so without someone at some point being an innovator, my arm might not have the mobility it has now. So that is just a motivation for me.
I bet the kids love it.
Yes.
And Megan, we were in your classroom recently, and I know that we have some video of that day. You always have such a fun classroom over there at Barton. Remind me, what grade do you teach?
So 7th grade life science and 9th grade chemistry, and then this is a group with my 7th graders who were involved with the underwater robotics called the remotely operated vehicles. And we have a competition that is coordinated by the Dauphin Island Sea Lab, and they get to build the robots and then they go compete them on a course in the pool. And so last year they did a phenomenal job. We had about, I think, 11 students last year, but we've grown to 44 this year. That's why I needed more equipment with the grant, and so you can see they also solder the motherboards for the controllers of the robots. So there's a whole lot of application that they can get connected to. They don't have to just be the tech person, so they really get involved in teamwork.
PVC piping. Is that
Yes.
a pool noodle? Do I see? Or
Yes.
what are the yellow things? Does that help it float, or-
Essentially, yes. And so they have to get what's called neutral buoyancy for the robot in the water to be able to steer it up and down in the water column to make it move correctly. So to do that, they have to add either weights or floats, kind of like a scuba diver would have to do to get neutrally buoyant.
Wow, I've seen the robots. I've not seen the underwater robots. That's amazing
Yes.
what we're doing and what your middle schoolers can do one day too. We do have an interview with one of your students, Cash Tillman. I heard he was absolutely precious. So let's see what he had to say about your classroom.
Last year, we started a Sea Perch team. What we do is we learn all about these ROVs, remotely operated vehicles. They go underwater and they are used for scientific research. They can study animals, the environment, the seafloor, all sorts of stuff.
They know words I don't even know, right?
Absolutely. They are awesome. They are awesome. And they really love it. They work as a team and they have to figure it out. Even they come up with competitions to decide who's going to get to drive it. So whoever does the course the fastest, they would sit and time each other. So they really work well together, and I love seeing it as a competition, for them.
So Beth, what do you think when you see your kids and hear them talking about the robots and learning all of this?
Oh, they just get so excited, especially when it doesn't work the first few times and they troubleshoot, and then it finally gets to their finish line and they just jump up and down and get so excited. And so I love to see that happen. And in the past, we've gone to the AmSty robotics competition and they used Dash robots. So I'm excited to get that going again. I think it shut down because of COVID for a bit. So I'm excited for us to build a team again.
It is excited to get back into that and to see the robotics competitions from kindergarten to 8th grade to beyond.
After being shut down for so long and the at-home learning, they really are thriving over hands-on learning because they haven't had it in so long. So I think it's important that we're bringing that back.
The hands-on, the problem solving, the teamwork, like they're learning so many skills that they probably don't even realize that they're learning.
Absolutely.
So we're about to break for commercial, but first I do want to mention, Megan, that you were named Alabama's Middle School Science Teacher of the Year.
Yes,
so
thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I'll be going to Birmingham to accept the award in March.
We're excited. So in Mobile County, the state gives out, or the State Science Teachers Association gives out 4 top science awards, and Mobile County has 3 of them. So the elementary, middle, and new science teacher of the year. So congratulations for that.
you.
We're going to break for commercial. When we come back, I'm going to introduce you to the elementary science teacher of the year and the new science teacher of the year for the state of Alabama. So stay tuned for Homeroom.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi.
Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you?
Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Yeah. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today I'm introducing you to some of our wonderful science teachers in Mobile County Public Schools, and we have two statewide award winners with us right now. The Alabama Science Teachers Association gives out 4 awards. Mobile County has 3 this year, which is fantastic. So we have Megan Gale at Hutchins Elementary, and you are the state's elementary school science teacher of the year, and Michaela Ross, and you are the new teacher of the year. What is that? The Fannie
Mae Teacher of Promise.
Fannie, and that just means that you've taught for 3 years or less.
Yes.
But you're already obviously making a huge impact in your classroom. So what's this like to be recognized with these statewide awards?
I mean, it's humbling, it's exciting. All those words that you think about when you think about being an award winner, they all apply. You feel like amazed and excited, but also totally humbled. Every minute of it is humbling.
Yeah, I agree. It's really encouraging, and it makes me excited to keep teaching, and just makes me feel encouraged to keep exploring science and helping kids learn how to become better scientists.
Especially as a new teacher, to get this recognition, because I know a lot of times teachers may feel underappreciated for what they do, but what you're doing is impactful into so many lives. So I'm glad that they could recognize you. I'm so proud that Mobile County has such a great representation. So Michaela, you're at ER Dixon. Tell us what you teach there.
Yes, I teach first grade, so I teach all the subjects. And my favorites are teaching reading and teaching science. So I love our science block at the end of the day, and I try to do a lot of hands-on experiments with them.
So reading and science, that's an interesting combination, huh?
Yeah, my bachelor's is in English nonfiction writing, so I love that and love the writing process, and it pairs well with science too. We do a lot of writing in our science journal, and bringing in, picture books and different nonfiction books to get them excited about science. So I love both of those.
Because kids like to read about science, don't they?
Yeah, they do, for sure.
I know I have 2 boys, and they always love reading about animals or anything, outer space, like things that they could actually look and see, right? And then you're helping with their reading skills.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Megan, you are at Hutchins, and so you have kind of a different job. I know it's a pre-K to 2nd grade school, and you get to teach all of them, right?
Yes, I do. I get to teach the whole school, every class, 30 classes a week. We have a lot of fun in our science lab. They learn a lot, and they get to explore things that they may not get to explore in their regular classroom. I do only hands-on lessons, tie in a lot of the reading stuff too, and we do lots of journaling after our experiments, and so we just have a whole lot of fun and learn a lot.
We got to visit recently, and they were building houses and blowing them down, or seeing if they could blow down. What was that? What were they learning there?
So we were doing a little bit of biomimicry and learning about trees and plants and how they have a good foundation with their roots, and then how scientists and engineers use what they know from plants and animals to make inventions better in the real world. And so we were building houses based on trees, and so they got to build their own little house out of some materials, and then we did a wind test to see if it would withstand the wind, and most of them did, surprisingly.
Yeah,
for first graders.
I was impressed. And they had fun too, blowing them down.
Yes, we did have a good time.
Yeah, and it's just neat how they can learn that skill, and they can see how science can be put into actual real world problems.
And they get to feel and know that they are an engineer. They get to know that themselves. Like, that's empowering for a first grader to think, I am an engineer today. So
the same for you? Do you see that in your kids?
Yeah, for sure. And I see it the most, when we do hands-on experiments. We do a lot of AmSty experiments. We're learning about sound, light, and sky right now, and they just get so excited. That's what I like the most about science. They bring a lot of joy into the classroom when, they get to play with instruments, or they get to build different things and pull out the tuning forks and do different experiments. They just light up and get so excited.
So some of our viewers may not know what AmSty is. It's the Alabama Math Science Technology Initiative. What is it?
Yeah, it's a way that teachers can get trained to get different kits through the company FOSS. So they send in these big kits to your classroom, and you use a special curriculum to teach. So you have to do some trainings to be an AmSty certified teacher, and then they give you the supplies and the curriculum, and it's very hands-on. Like, it's not a lot of videos, it's a lot of experiments. So we're doing 24 different hands-on experiments this semester, and we journal about each one of them. So it's really special.
That's a lot. So they're doing hands-on activities in both your classrooms pretty regularly, right?
Yes. multiple times a week.
Yes. And that AMSTI is phenomenal. I mean, those kits are amazing. My kids use them too, and they are so good.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal curriculum. We're really lucky to have that support.
Yes. Yeah, because anytime you can have the supplies and the experiments kind of
It's a big deal.
handed to you so you can apply it to what they're learning, that is really cool. And I know you guys wanted to talk about girls and how you're preparing girls to go into these science fields and how important that is. So tell me about that.
So for me, like, it's important for my kids, because they're little, to see representations of women in the workplace in the STEM field doing things that they could one day do. And so I'm bringing in like geologists for my second grade students to see, and meteorologists for my kindergarten students to see, and then just being a lady who's in the STEM field as a science teacher is a big deal too. So that's part of the way that I'm bringing that for my students to be able to see it in their real life.
Yeah, I get excited about trying to empower women and girls to go into the STEM field as well. My whole family is in the STEM field, and I just think it's such a wonderful career opportunity for these young girls. And I work with our Vex IQ Robotics Club after school, and we try to really coach some girls get interested in coding and robotics. And I try to push science in my first grade classroom a lot, and math, to try to get the girls to feel confident and interested at a young age in science.
Because for so long it was seen as kind of a boring subject, but now I think science is very interesting. It's
fun.
Yeah, very interesting.
Y'all have made it fun. I wish my science was fun when I was in school. And that girl power is so important. And I think it's neat when we talk to students, we're out and about, and you talk to a student about what they want to do when they graduate. A lot of them are very specific about science fields. Like, I want to be a biomedical engineer, or I want to do this. So is that music to your ears when you hear them talk about it like that they want to do this?
For sure, yeah. I love to hear a girl say that she wants to go into robotics, or she wants to be an engineer or programmer.
Right, and not just say, oh, I want to be a doctor, but I want to be a marine biologist, or I want to be a programmer or something like that.
And to have reasons why, too, like because they've gone into your science lab and experienced it, or because they've programmed robots after school.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. They're very specific. They're not just a doctor. I want to be a pediatrician or this. And so I think y'all are doing an excellent job preparing our boys and our girls to go into science. So thank you for what you're doing. Congratulations on your statewide awards. We're very proud of you both, and we look forward to you teaching and for a very long time in Mobile County Public Schools. So we have to break for commercial, but I'm going to introduce you to some more of our fascinating science teachers in Mobile County Public Schools when we come back for Homeroom.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
You've got questions? We got answers. MCPSS.com. Whether it's attendance zones, school calendar, lunch menus, or registration information that you are looking for, you can find it right here. MCPSS.com. You can also get the latest news and district-wide calendar information, and it's just a click away. So when you need to know, and you need to know right now, check us out. MCPSS.com.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-aged children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Hi, and welcome back to Homeroom. Today we're talking to some of our fabulous science teachers here in Mobile County Public Schools. And joining me, I have Michelle Holloway from Mobile County Training School and Tammy May from Clark Shaw School of Math and Science and Technology. Hello. Hello. And so, y'all, we're going to talk about fish. Yeah. Right? Okay. So tell me, Michelle, you just got a big grant to work on some aquaponics.
Aquaponics. And I'm so excited. It's from Birmingham Southern College, and we got a big grant where we're doing an initiative for community learning, and where we have community partners that all come in from everywhere around with Birmingham Southern. And the biggest project we're doing now is the aquaponics garden.
What is aquaponics?
Aquaponics is where you grow plant and fish at the same time, and you don't need the soil. Basically, the water from the fish feeds the plants, and then the plants feed the fish. It's a full circle of life.
Oh, that's interesting too, huh? And so will the students are going to actually, are they going to?
Yes, the students will feed the fish. The students will make sure the water levels are correct. The students will make sure that they don't die. And I will just be there to say, hey, don't do that. I don't want to be the person to do everything. I want the kids to get the experience, because in the future, that's what the kids are going to do, because I'm not going to always be there at county. So when I go, they should be able to take over.
So you're going to kind of mediate it, and they're going to do all the trial and error too, right? There may be some errors.
It will be, because we already had, like, it wasn't a big leak, but it was like a little droplet, and one of the students, Miss Holloway, it's leaking. I said, is it really leaking? Oh no, it's just a little bit of water. Yeah. So it was great, because they found it before I did.
Mm-hmm. So this grant, so Birmingham Southern, they recently came down to Mobile and they awarded you the grant. How excited are they to be doing this?
They're over the moon, so much so. One of the guys that is very hands-on with me, helping me do it, his name is Mark Mead. He's actually traveling down here on the 17th. They're going to give me a sub. We're going to spend the whole day talking about aquaponics, fish and plants and planting. And I think he's more excited than me, because he came down and he came to the school like at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I get there at 6. Why are you here at 6? But he was there at 6 putting stuff together, and it was great.
He's probably excited to see something coming from that college level that middle schoolers are going to get to do, so that they can feed up into college at some point, right?
Yes, yes. He wants new students.
It's a great recruiting tool. They know him. And so, Tammy, you made an interesting discovery of a fish, a Gulf sturgeon.
A Gulf sturgeon. And speaking of getting the college level down to the middle school level, that's exactly the opportunity that came about, not on purpose. I was just out and about looking at going fishing that day, turned around, and there is this very unusual looking fish.
5 foot.
It was huge, like 5 foot long.
It's about the size of me and you.
Right. And it just is a very unusual fish. I mean, it has scutes and not scales. They have just a really unusual mouth part where they will suck up food to eat, and it's just incredible to see it. And it looks more reptilian than like fish, and I have just learned so much about this as this journey has progressed, and a lot of opportunities have come out for me to even share more about it. The professor that came out from the University of Southern Mississippi was really excited about the connection to the the public school level and the public awareness, because their school works really hard, spends a lot of money and a lot of time tagging these fish, because they are threatened and they will get data back from those fish. So the more people that are aware that they need to report them, the better, because with science progression and data, they need data. And so it was really a good opportunity for the kids to realize, you know, when you get out and find something unusual like that, maybe check with some local resources and see if that's something that you need to investigate further.
That is one weird looking fish.
It is really strange.
Yeah, it does. And they say it's very rare, right? Like, how big of a deal was this to find this?
It was a big deal. And the researcher told me that it's not that they don't know they migrate through the Mobile Bay. They just didn't realize that they stop and feed. And so during the necropsy, which was the fun part about Dr. Andrews coming to our school and showing the video of the necropsy, they were able to check the fish's gut and find out that it actually had been feeding in Mobile Bay. And then he sent his grad students on a wonderful adventure. I'm sure they're very appreciative of the extra work. But it's really good stuff for them to have that research. But it is rare. And actually, I think you shared with me a link about an Atlantic sturgeon that was found. A photographer who traveled hundreds of miles on the beach all the time has only come across 2 in like 25 years.
Yeah.
So it was really unique.
Ever since I heard about your fish, my Google's been feeding me stories about fish. And so, but and one important thing to note is it is a protected species, right? So that's why you contacted the University of Southern Miss and the Dolphin Island Sea Lab, because this is
and it was really easy to do. They told me to go on the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration site, NOAA, NOAA. And there was a link right there at the bottom. You fill out a little form, you email some pictures in, and in my case, I just happened to have a close friend who worked at Southern Miss, so he was able to send somebody out the next day to get it. The funny thing is, I shared, this was on Saturday, it was picked up on Sunday. Monday, I was showing my students in the classroom, hey, look what I found over the weekend, and you know, they were like, yeah. And then when the news came, and then we started rolling with it, and then when Dr. Andrews did his presentation, it was hilarious because the kids were like, we heard all this vocabulary, and we know that vocabulary, and you're really teaching us real stuff?
Yeah,
I'm teaching you real stuff.
And it's so interesting, it went viral, right? Like, people are interested in this.
It is neat.
So, Michelle, tell me about your shirt. So I know this was, you designed this, and you had it at the grand reveal.
So basically, it's a hand drawing because if you guys know, Africa Town is where the last slave ship, the Clotilda, landed. And they came from Benin, Africa. So this was Benin, and this is Mobile County Training School. So I decided to merge the both of them, and that's what we did. And this is now our Stemming the Tide logo with Mobile County Training School. And I drew it on my iPad, and my business pressed it, and here we are. We all have shirts now.
And what's really neat connection with that is Ben Raines doing America's Amazon was one of the reasons why I knew the sturgeon was something to look at. So that's really a great connection.
Yeah, so we're also connected.
Yes.
And I used to work with him, but yeah. So that's all the time we have. Thank y'all for everything you're doing to make science really come alive in our classrooms with our students. I would have loved to have been a student in one of your classrooms, but
thank you, Renee.
I love being able to visit.
Yes, come see us.
Yes. Well, that's all the time that we have for Homeroom, so we'll see you next time.